Hello and welcome to this Facebook Live on the Banega Swachh and Swasth India page. We have with us Dr. Sachin Dhawan. In fact, post-COVID, a lot of people, facing hair loss, skin infections. Dr. Dhawan, thank you so much for joining us. But the first question I want to ask you, what are the kind of patients you're getting post-COVID? What kind of infections are they coming to you with when it's related to hair and skin?
So, Ambika, thanks in fact for having me on the show. First of all, I'd like to actually thank you for recognizing the need for actually taking care of skin care and hair care post-COVID. So there has been, of course, a pandemic of patients coming to us for skin and hair-related issues, most commonly hair-related issues. People have been losing a lot of hair post getting COVID. And generally, the skin's getting dull. People are getting more infections as a result of either COVID itself that batters their immune system or as a result of the medication that they have taken during COVID and post-COVID. So the number of patients coming in and seeking help has definitely increased in this particular wave, the last wave.
Okay. So, we have a lot of questions coming. The first question, but I want to ask you is something to do with mask acne because, we're wearing masks most of the time. This is the new normal. What can one do about that? And is everybody facing it? Just a few of us who actually have this question?
Yes, we are getting many patients with mask acne. In fact, this is a newly recognized subset of acne, a type of acne that wasn't there earlier. It happens because of, when you wear a mask, especially if you wear it for a long duration of time, your skin tends to sweat a lot. And bacteria and funguses present in the skin, they get the right kind of environment, which is moisture and heat to grow. So you develop pimples as a result of it. Not everyone gets it. People who have had pimples earlier, they get an aggravation of pimples because of this. Certain types of masks also trigger it. Like if you're wearing a very rough mask, typically N95 masks are very rough in nature. People who wear them, they get it more often. So what I suggest my patients is that wear a soft cotton mask underneath and then wear an N95, which is well fitting, of course, on top.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I tell patients who have mask acne is that after they take off the mask, you try to, wash your face with water, take a little cold compression with cold water and towel and cool your face down. It's the heat which causes it. So if you cool it down, mask acne would be under control.
It's a new term, mask acne. Let's take our first question. Dr. Dhawan, Chandani Kumari is asking, normally I don't get body pimples, but after COVID, for which I was admitted to the hospital and had to take steroids, I had itchy red pimples on back and shoulders. Is it because of the steroids? Will they become permanent and how to treat them?
So, Ambika, we know this subset of acne which is triggered by steroid intake. What steroids do is that they increase the hydration of the skin and they undermine your immune system. So as a result of the moisture being present and because of the immune system getting slightly suppressed, again, bacteria and funguses which cause pimples, they grow more. And they cause pimples on the back, shoulders, and chest, and sometimes on the forehead and sides also. It happens more to people who get dandruff because fungus causes dandruff and that same fungus causes pimples also. It's slightly different from normal body acne because this is slightly itchy. Good news is that typically it settles down on its own after 3 to 4 weeks. You can take an anti-allergic if it is very itchy. You can consult a dermatologist and take an anti-acne antibiotic course if it is very uncomfortable or pus formation is there. But a simple home remedy like putting some calamine lotion over there would also be helpful.
Okay. So, that's a simple thing to do. And the good news, like you said, it will not stay forever. अगला सवाल हमारे पास सार्थक अरोड़ा पूछ रहे हैं डॉक्टर धवन आफ्टर कोविड-19 he's got skin peeling और उन्होंने होम्योपैथिक ट्रीटमेंट भी शुरू की और एलर्जी बेटर हो गया लेकिन उनके जो हाथों का पैरों का जो स्किन है वो पील होने लगा है क्या ये नॉर्मल है इसके पीछे क्या रीजन है
अमेरिका बहुत सारे लोगों को कोविड के दौरान एक हल्का सा रैश होता है which is barely visible बहुत विजिबल नहीं होता people don't realize that it's there तो उस रैश की वजह से 1 या 2 हफ्ते के बाद हल्की हल्की स्किन शेडिंग होती है जिन एरियाज में जहाँ स्किन पतली है लाइक फेस आर्म्स एंड ऑल वहाँ तो हल्की सी पीलिंग होकर ठीक हो जाती है अपने आप चाहे उसके लिए आप होम्योपैथी करें चाहे ना करें आपको एक मॉइस्चराइजर लगाना होता है सिर्फ बट जो एरिया जहाँ स्किन मोटी है जैसे पाम सोल्स हैं वहाँ पे 2 या 3 बार वो स्किन शेड होती है और वो कोविड के 2-3 हफ्ते के बाद शुरू होती है तो इट इज अ नॉर्मल थिंग इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज टू टेक अ गुड हाइपोएलर्जेनिक मॉइस्चराइजर हल्का सा मॉइस्चराइजर लगाएं दिन में 2-3 बार अपने आप से वो ठीक हो जाएगा
मतलब उस एरिया को हम मॉइस्चराइज रखें सो सार्थक आप दैट्स अ वेरी सिंपल अगेन थिंग टू डू The next question we have from Alika Vyas is asking, does one need to take supplements to maintain skin and hair post-COVID? And if yes, which one?
So, of course, supplementation is needed in case you're facing a problem. If you don't face a problem, then there's actually no need for supplementation. You have to maintain a good diet, healthy lifestyle, and stay away from stress and get back to doing moderate exercise as soon as possible. That will improve your circulation It'll improve your skin and hair. But if you're facing an issue, let's say if you're facing hair fall, then a biotin containing and amino acid containing supplement would be required. You can consult a good dermatologist close to you who can help you with that. Regarding skin, it's a good idea to take antioxidants. So most of us end up having sullen skin post COVID. So things that contain vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, selenium, those supplements can be taken. A lot of us end up having dry skin post COVID as well. So vitamin E and omega-3 supplements also would be helpful to be taken.
Okay. Okay. So Alika, I hope that answers your question. The next question is again on hair. Like you said, in fact, the next two questions are on hair. Aarti Sinha is asking, my hair has been falling in clumps. Starting after about 2 weeks of COVID, I've lost 50% of my hair volume. When will it stop? And when do I get the hair back? Will they ever come back to the same level as before COVID? I think this is something which it's a big stress point if you see your hair falling like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, that stresses you more. And as a result of stress, you lose more hair. So there is a kind of a condition called telogen effluvium, which is a well-recognized condition. It used to happen earlier before COVID, also after viral infections, major stress, surgeries, etc., where your hair follicles go into a shedding phase. So as many as 40 to 70% of your follicles actually go into a shedding phase. The hair is just lying there. You pull them and they come out. You comb, they come out. You wash, they come out. You put a medicine, they come out. So this has really increased post-COVID because COVID really batters your body quite a bit and makes hair follicles not produce hair for a little while. The good news is that that cycle lasts for about 100 days and then body automatically starts to produce hair. I have seen that it's proportional to the intensity of COVID that you've had. So if you've had a very mild COVID, it will happen for a few days or maybe a week or two. Moderate, then it will last for 2-3 weeks. If you have had severe COVID, it takes 3-4 months to get better. And in that situation, taking the help of a dermatologist, taking the right nutrients, like I mentioned, biotin containing, amino acid containing things, and using some hair serums which contain protein binding agents to help to bind your hair to the scalp so that the recovery is quicker will be important.
So the next question, Sudesh Kumar is asking, post-COVID, I've got a dry, scaly scalp. What should I do?
So the dry scalp could be because of two reasons, Ambika. One could be as a result of the dandruff getting increased. Like I said, COVID batters your immune system. Fungus, which causes dandruff, tends to grow more. So in that event, using like a weak tea tree oil mixture. And the second type of, dry scalp would be as a result of general dryness of the skin. So if you see that, then putting an organic oil, like a, cold pressed coconut oil for about half an hour before wash would be helpful. And of course, hydrate your body, take those vitamin E, vitamin C, omega-3s that I mentioned earlier.
Okay, coming back, dark circles. It's an interesting question. Nancy Mishra is asking, I have dark circles after COVID. Can this be treated or somehow reduced?
So we need to understand why dark circles happen. They happen because of the general loss of fat when you're ill. You tend to lose fat in this area. The skin becomes thinner and the engorged veins under the skin tend to become more visible. So it gives a bluish, blackish look to it. Plus, if you're not sleeping well, if you're worried a lot, then obviously that aggravates the dark circles. Most people who are quarantining at home, they also watch a lot of screens and that makes the dark circles go worse. So you need to cut down upon your screen time. You need to do a gentle massage in the under eye area to improve the circulation. So you can take any moisturizer, any good thing that suits you, place it under the eye and just tap gently on the lower and the upper eyelid for about 2-3 minutes every day on both the eyes. That would make a lot of difference. If it is more than mild dark circles, then using a vitamin K based cream or a serum and a vitamin C based eye cream would be helpful. One has to do it for 2-3 months for things to get better.
Okay. Okay, yeah, because again, like what you said, the massage is important. Any specific finger for the massage, Dr. Dhawan? Because sometimes they say use your ring finger. It has to be mildly done, right?
It has to be mildly done. The fingers will be small. So maybe, either the index finger or the, little finger would be good for you.
Okay. Okay, and it has to be done carefully. Okay. अगला सवाल हमसे दीपिका कपूर चोपड़ा पूछ रहे हैं कि वाटर बबल जैसे ब्लिस्टर्स हुए हैं राइट आर्म पे 3 वीक्स आफ्टर रिकवरी फ्रॉम कोविड और बहुत पेनफुल है. इसके लिए क्या किया जा सकता है और ये रीजन क्यों है कि हाथों पे मतलब आर्म पे ब्लिस्टर हुआ है?
इनका मोस्ट प्रोबेबली हिस्ट्री ऐसा लग रहा है कि इनको हर्पीज ज़ॉस्टर हो गया है. हर्पीज ज़ॉस्टर एक इन्फेक्शन है जो हमारे बॉडी के एक सर्टेन पार्ट में होती है और वो चिकन पॉक्स वायरस के रिएक्टिवेशन से होती है. तो ये चिकन पॉक्स वायरस हमारी बॉडी में बचपन से रहता है. जब हमें चिकन पॉक्स हुआ होता है, जिन लोगों को हुआ होता है, और वो हमारे स्पाइन में रहता है. और कोविड के बाद भी और कोविड वैक्सीन के बाद भी देखा गया है कि इसका इंटेंसिटी बढ़ जाता है, इसके होने के चांसेस बढ़ जाते हैं. कोविड वैक्सीन के बाद इनफैक्ट 3-4 दिन के बाद कुछ लोग आते हैं जिनको हर्पीज ज़ॉस्टर ट्रिगर होता है. और कोविड के बाद जब हमारी इम्यूनिटी कम हो जाती है तो 3-4 हफ्ते के बाद भी इस तरह के ब्लिस्टर्स होते हैं. इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज कि हम इसे जल्दी आइडेंटिफाई करेंगे और आइडेंटिफाई करके एक डर्मेटोलॉजिस्ट से ट्रीट कराएं, बिकॉज इस कंडीशन में एक विंडो पीरियड होता है 72 आवर्स का, जहां अगर हम एंटीवायरल मेडिसिन शुरू कर देते हैं तो हमें लास्टिंग नर्व डैमेज नहीं होता, डिस्कम्फर्ट, पेन वगैरह स्किन को हील होने के बाद चलता नहीं है, 15 एक दिन में आप ठीक हो जाते हैं। बट अगर इसको हम डिले कर देते हैं, स्पेशली पीपल हु आर डायबिटिक्स एंड पीपल हु हैव लो इम्यूनिटी इन जनरल, उन लोगों को फिर काफी समय तक पेन भी होता रहता है इसके ठीक होने के बाद। तो ऐसा कुछ भी लगे कि क्लस्टर ऑफ ब्लिस्टर्स हो रहे हैं, पेन हो रहा है, बर्निंग हो रहा है उस पर्टिकुलर एरिया में, खासकर बॉडी के एक हाफ में या एक क्वाड्रेंट में, तो डेफिनेटली इमीडिएटली एज सून एज पॉसिबल डर्मेटोलॉजिस्ट से मिलें और उसका ट्रीटमेंट इनिशिएट करवाएं।
तो टाइमली एक्शन आप कह रहे हैं बहुत जरूरी है। Richa Praduman is asking that I have been suffering from eczema for the last 6 to 7 years. It gets aggravated during change of season. Should I get vaccinated? I've heard people with skin allergies should not take the COVID vaccine. So is this a myth?
Let me very, very categorically tell you, Ambika, that everybody should vaccinate whether they have a skin problem or not, unless somebody is specifically allergic to a vaccine. So if you've had an allergy to a vaccine in the past, then you have to see your dermatologist or see a intensivist or a specialist, and then maybe take a call on vaccination or not. Let them decide. Don't decide yourself. I've had the unfortunate, case of a couple of my patients who asked us for old eczemas that, should I take the vaccine or not? We told them to take it. They didn't take it. And unfortunately, 2 of them passed away. So it's very important that everybody should get vaccinated, whether they have a skin problem or not, unless they have an allergy to a vaccine in the past. Even if there's a mild allergy, so people come to us post-vaccination with urticarias or hives getting worse. People come to us where a mild flare-up of eczema or psoriasis may have happened. Those are manageable things. If you keep your dermatologist in the loop, be in consult with them before getting the vaccination, then they'll give you countermeasures which can prevent that flare-up from happening. And even if it happens, it can be managed.
Yeah. So I think the very, very important thing, which, everybody is saying, that you need to get vaccinated. And if you have any doubt, again, go to your dermatologist. I think that's really well explained, Dr. Dhawan. Next question again is on vaccination. Isha Singh is asking, I got my first dosage on 2nd May post-vaccination with Covishield. I developed serious itching and as a deep, also rashes on the whole body for more than a month. No medication worked. How much chances are there that the same would repeat for the second dose? Obviously, fear is there in Isha's mind in case she gets, again, another reaction.
There is a fair chance that she may have it in the second dose also. And there is also a chance that she may have a slight aggravated rash because her immune system is already geared towards reacting to the vaccine. In such a situation, of course, vaccine has to be taken. But it's a good idea to start an anti-allergy before taking the vaccine, perhaps a few days before, and continue the anti-allergic a few days after the vaccine is also taken. And like I said, allergies can be managed. In case normal anti-allergics in regular dose are not helping her, she can updose her anti-allergics under the guidance of a dermatologist. And after 2 weeks of vaccination, once the antibody formation is already started, one can always resort to taking a low dose of a steroid for a few days to control the rashes. So let the rashes not really prevent her from taking the second vaccine. Yes, if she has had a condition called angioedema, in which the lips swell up, the eyes swell up, there is choking, in that event, then she should probably look at deferring the vaccine a little bit. And again, take expert consult before going in for the second dose.
Yeah, so again, like what you're repeatedly saying is important. We need to go at the right time. And again, not just to take decisions ourselves. We're getting a lot of questions. I'll take a last one. My hives, which was settled for a few years, has got active again after COVID. And it's very itchy. How long will it take to get better? And what is the advised line of treatment?
So yes, we have been getting a lot of people with urticaria or hives getting worse post-COVID. People who have been settled for 2-3 years, they get a reactivation. It's an autoimmune phenomenon as the COVID infection triggers cytokine formation, which are chemicals that are produced after COVID, and they are also responsible for all the lung complication, etc., that happen, and post-COVID phenomena that happen. So this is one of the post-COVID phenomena. I have seen it takes about 3 to 4 months for it to settle down. And it is usually very easily controllable with anti-allergics. So at the outset of the allergy, go to your dermatologist and start an anti-allergy course. Almost all of them settle down in 3 to 4 months post.
Okay. We'll just take, I know, like I just said, your last question, but this is something we've not spoken about. The question on psoriasis, it was under control. I have a chronic skin condition called psoriasis. It was in control with medicines, but due to COVID, I had to stop So now it's back with a vengeance. Is it due to COVID? How soon can I go back to the medicines and immunosuppressive medicine?
So yes, so one has to stop immunosuppressives during COVID, and one can go back to the immunosuppressives after 2 weeks of recovery from COVID under the expert guidance of a dermatologist. Um, it will come under control once the immunosuppressives are started. The psoriasis would also come under control. This is in fact a question that we get asked very often regarding vaccination also. It is recommended that the immunosuppressives be stopped after the vaccination so that antibody formation can happen and you get the full benefit of the vaccine. So most immunosuppressives after 2 weeks of vaccination can be restarted.
So I think we've answered most of the questions. I'm sorry if you haven't. In fact, if you see them on the page, we'll send them to you, and if you can answer them. Dr. Dhawan, just a last question, quick. Like, do you think with the third wave now, which we're talking about, anticipating it? Of course, you've told us really well whether it's dandruff, whether it's mask acne. Anything like, do you think with summers and it's humid, right? So something people can do as a precaution, whether post-COVID or even like, I mean, not even generally, because of the weather. Anything for acne or hair, just to do it. I think everybody would want to hear a tip from you.
Most important thing is to stay healthy with the good antioxidant-rich foods, which are yellow and red in color, like papaya, beetroot, etc. Important to have a balanced diet, especially carbohydrates are very important. Most people are these days dieting, and as a result, their hair are anyways weak. And carb intake is very important, along with a balanced protein intake for having healthy hair. So one must not really give up on that. And of course, good sleeping habits, eating habits. If your general immunity is good, you would not be impacted by post-COVID skin and hair related issues as such.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Dr. Dhawan, for sharing all this with us. I'm sure it's helped a lot of people. Thank you so much for being a part of this.
Thanks for having me here. Thank you.
Thank you.